On a cold December evening in New York City, the bustling streets of Manhattan were alive with the usual holiday chaos. Among the crowd, Keanu Reeves walked quietly, bundled in a simple coat and scarf, his unpretentious nature blending him into the sea of holiday shoppers. He had just picked up a hot dog from a street vendor when a panicked child's voice pierced the air. "Don't eat that." Keanu froze mid-bite, turning to see a ragged, shivering boy, no older than 9, his face smudged with dirt and his oversized hoodie hanging off his small frame. The boy's wide eyes locked onto Keanu with desperation. "It's poisoned," the boy whispered, his voice trembling. Startled, Keanu lowered the hot dog. "What's wrong?" he asked calmly. The boy hesitated before blurting out, "I just know. Okay? You can't eat it. Please don't." His voice cracked, and something in it stirred a deep urgency in Keanu. The vendor, visibly sweating, stammered, "I don't know what this kid's talking about. My food's clean, man." Keanu handed the hot dog back and pulled out a crisp $100 bill, offering it to the boy. "How about you grab something warm to eat? You look like you could use it." But the boy, Tyler, shook his head fiercely. "I don't want your money. I want you to believe me." His eyes welled up with tears as he began to explain. He had seen a shadowy figure pay the vendor earlier, whispering something about sending a message. Tyler had watched from a hidden corner, hoping for a scrap of food, but when he saw Keanu, he felt compelled to warn him. Keanu's instincts kicked in. He decided to trust the boy and took him to a nearby diner to figure things out. Over hot chocolate, Tyler opened up about his life, his mother's disappearance, the men who whispered strange things about her, and the constant fear he lived in. As Keanu listened, he began to piece together a startling connection between Tyler's story and his own past. But their conversation was interrupted when a man in a black coat entered the diner. Tyler froze, whispering, "That's him. The one I saw talking to the vendor." Keanu's jaw tightened as he met the stranger's cold stare. The man smirked, revealing he knew who Keanu was. "You've got something I need," he said, his voice low and menacing. Before Keanu could react, police officers stormed in, arresting the man. One officer thanked Keanu, explaining they had been searching for the man for weeks. But as they left the diner, Tyler whispered, "They'll come back. They always come back." Determined to protect Tyler, Keanu took him to Sandra Bullock's brownstone. Sandra, a trusted friend, welcomed them and listened as Keanu recounted the night's events. She agreed they needed to dig deeper into Tyler's past to uncover why he was being targeted. As the night deepened, Keanu and Sandra discussed their next steps. Lawrence Fishburne, Keanu's longtime friend, arrived and suggested they move to a safe house outside the city. The group quickly gathered their things and drove to a secluded cabin in the woods. But their respite was short-lived. That night, as Keanu and Lawrence stood guard, shadowy figures emerged from the trees surrounding the cabin. A masked figure demanded, "Hand him over, and no one gets hurt." Keanu stood his ground, his resolve unshakable. "Not a chance," he said, his voice steel. Inside, Tyler watched in fear as the men closed in. Keanu turned to Lawrence. "Get them inside. Lock the doors. I'll hold them off." As the masked men advanced, Keanu prepared to fight, knowing he might not make it out unscathed. But he also knew one thing. No harm would come to Tyler. Not while he was alive. The forest echoed with tension as Keanu stood ready to protect the boy who had become his family. The battle was just beginning, but his determination was unwavering. Whatever secrets Tyler's past held, Keanu would face them head-on, no matter the cost. Keanu barely had time to react before the first attacker launched. With years of training and instinct guiding him, he sidestepped and delivered a swift elbow to the assailant's face, knocking him back. Another figure rushed forward, but Keanu swept his leg, sending him tumbling into the snow. Lawrence, watching from a window, turned to Sandra. "We can't stay here. We need an escape route." Sandra nodded and quickly pulled up an old map of the area on her phone. "There's an old service tunnel about a mile from here. If we can get to it, we might have a shot." Inside the cabin, Tyler clutched a blanket, eyes wide with fear. "Keanu," he called softly. "I'm scared." Keanu blocked another strike before responding. "I know, kid. But I won't let them take you. We're getting out of here. Sandra and Lawrence grabbed supplies while Keanu continued fending off the attackers. Then, just as they were about to make a break for the tunnel, a gunshot rang out. The bullet shattered a nearby tree, missing Keanu by inches. "Move!" Lawrence shouted, grabbing Tyler and sprinting into the darkness. Keanu followed, covering their escape with quick, precise strikes against anyone in their path. They reached the tunnel just as more men arrived. "Inside, now," Sandra urged. They rushed in, the echoes of their footsteps bouncing against the damp walls. Behind them, the attackers hesitated, reluctant to follow into the unknown depths. For now, they were safe. But Keanu knew this wasn't over. Tyler's past held a secret, one that powerful people were willing to kill for, and he was determined to find out why. As they emerged from the tunnel into an abandoned warehouse, Keanu took a deep breath. "All right, kid," he said gently. "It's time to tell us everything." Tyler swallowed hard and looked at Keanu, then Sandra and Lawrence. "My mom, she wasn't just an ordinary person. She worked for the government. She knew things, dangerous things. Before she disappeared, she told me if anything ever happened to her, I needed to find someone good, someone who could help." Keanu exchanged a look with Sandra and Lawrence. This wasn't just about a poisoned hot dog or a street vendor. This was about something much bigger, and they were right in the middle of it. "We're in this now," Keanu said firmly, "and we're not backing down." The fight for the truth had only just begun. If you want more videos please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.